Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, or if you're in here, my name is Ashley, and today I'm here to do an unhaul and a book haul, probably. Gone through my shelves. You will be seeing the bookshelf reorganization for that soon if it's not already up on my channel. But I have two whole stacks of books that I have removed from my shelves and I'm going to be taking to Second and Charles. I also have a stack of maybes that I'm unsure of if I want to get rid of or not, and some that I might want to try a chapter or something first or see how the writing is before I decide I want to keep or unhaul it. So I thought I would go ahead show you those today, and then after I go to the store and come back I'll show you what I got there. As I was going through my shelves and picking out all of these books, I noticed a bit of a theme. A lot of these books are YA. Some that I've read, a lot that I haven't read, and so yeah, I'm just going to go through these and show you what I'm unhauling. First we have Eleanor Park by Rainbow Rowell. I did really enjoy it, but I'm not going to read it again. Landline by Rainbow Rowell, which I did really like this book. And so now I'm actually kind of second guessing myself, and I think I'm going to put this one on the maybe pile instead because I did really like it. But like, I'm probably not going to read it again, so maybe I should just go ahead. How Not to Fall in Love by Lisa Brown Roberts. I have not read this, but it is YA. I have One Day in December by Josie Silver. I did really enjoy this and I want to reread it, but I think I'm just going to unhaul this one for now and hopefully find a better condition cover. This one's pretty beat up, so probably to be replaced at some point. Next, I have 3 graphic novels of Twilight, which these may not actually be taken to Second Charles. These may actually get passed down to some children of mine, but I figure I don't really need these graphic novels. I do have the entire series on my shelf and they never really finished this, so I don't really need it on my shelf, so I'm just gonna pass it on. I have The Wing Feather Saga by Andrew Peterson. This is the first book of a middle grade series, and I just don't know that I'll ever get to it anytime soon, so I'm gonna pass it on. I have Verity by Colleen Hoover. I have read this before, and I've actually bought it twice. I unhauled it once and got it again, but I'm not gonna reread it probably, so I'm gonna go ahead and pass it on. The Birds, the Bees, and You and Me by Olivia Heinbaugh, and this is a YA that I haven't read. They Went Left by Monica Hesse. This is either middle grade or YA. I have read another historical fiction by her and it was really, really good, but I just don't see myself picking this up anytime soon, so I'm gonna go ahead and pass on it. The Ones We're Meant to Find by Joan He. I've bought this thing so many times and unhauled it at least twice. So I'm officially unhauling this because I read the synopsis and it just doesn't sound like something I'm going to be interested in. So why have I bought it so many times? I don't know. But like, this is it. This is all. I have Wreck the Halls by Tessa Bailey. This is one I haven't heard the greatest reviews about, and so I think I'm just gonna pass it on. And I don't know when I'd get to it. So next I have a trilogy that has been on my shelves forever, at least like 12, almost 15 years, and I haven't read it yet. This is Under the Never Sky by Veronica Rossi. So there's also Into the Still Blue and Through the Ever Night. I figured I'm probably not going to read this. I'm going to get rid of it. The Haunted by Danielle Vega. I used to have another series by her too, and I got rid of it because I didn't like the feeling, and I was reading the synopsis of this and I've always kept it because I thought it sounded interesting, and it still does, but I just don't like the feeling of this book, so it's gonna go. The next few are ones that some may not agree with. I have a few here by V.E. Schwab. I have A Darker Shade of Magic. I've had this one a couple times, and I'm not saying I won't read this, but I'm not sure when I'm ever going to get to it. So I'm going to go ahead and unhaul this because I only have one of the series and I may pick it up again some other time. We'll see. I have these two, The Archived and The Unbound, which is 2 of 3. But I heard she's not going to ever finish this, and they've been on my shelves forever. So like, I'm just gonna move them on. Another one that's been on my shelves forever is Graveminder by Melissa Marr. Never really heard anyone talk about this. It's the first in a series. I just don't think I'm gonna get to it, so I'm gonna move it on. And then I have a couple by Emma Lord. I have When You Get the Chance and Tweak You. I've read this one. I have not read this one. They're YA romances. They're cute, but like I couldn't tell you really too much what this one's about, so I'm just gonna pass them on. This one, I am not sure where I got this. I think I picked it up at a thrift store or something, and I think it's an indie published book called There's No Such Thing as Vampires by Heather Masterson, and I think she is kind of like a local person that published her own book. I mean, it sounds interesting, but the font is really small and it's kind of a big book. So I don't know that I'm going to get to this anytime soon. So I'm just going to pass it on. Lock and Key by Sarah Dessen. I have read and enjoyed a couple of her books, and I have the other one that I own by her still on my shelves, but I just didn't think this one intrigued me very much. And so who knows when I'm actually going to pick it up. I'm going to go ahead and pass this one on. Lastly, I have Emmy and Oliver by Robin Benway. This is another YA that I haven't read, and it's been on my shelf forever, so I'm gonna go ahead and pass it on. Those are all the books in my stacks of for sure getting rid of. I thought I would go ahead and also show you the ones that I might also be unhauling. I have two on my shelf by Huntley Fitzpatrick, My Life Next Door and What I Thought Was True. I also have the sequel to this one, which is like a companion novel, I believe. It's on my TBR card at the moment. I did really love these, but they are YA, so I'm not sure yet. And then I have Hairpin Bridge by Taylor Adams. I really loved No Exit. I think I rated it 5 stars, but I got rid of it because I don't really buy and keep thrillers on my shelf. I'm not generally going to reread them again. I haven't heard the best things about this one, and so I'm thinking I might go ahead and skip it. Next, I have Everything Beautiful Is Not Ruined by Danielle Young Ullman. I remember somebody raving about this one years and years ago, and I looked for this one for a long time, and I think I found it at Second and Charles. I kind of still want to read this, but after I read the synopsis, I was kind of like, I don't know, maybe I don't. So I'm not really sure, but it'll probably end up getting passed on. Next, I have Room for Hope by Kim Bogle-Sawyer. I did read this one and I really loved it. I love historical fiction, but this isn't one I'll probably end up rereading again, so I figured I would pass it on for someone else to read. Next, I have this duology, The Final Six and The Life Below by Alexandra Manier. This one's been on my shelf for years and I've never picked it up, and just not sure that I ever will, so passing that on probably. Next, I have the first of a trilogy. I do have all 3 of these books. This is Year One by Nora Roberts. It's the Chronicles of the One, and this is a post-apocalyptic story, and I used to really love those, but I really don't read so much of those anymore, and I've never read anything by Nora Roberts, so I don't really know if I'm gonna like this or not. And so I figured I would try a chapter of it and see how I like it, how it reads, and if I end up getting rid of it, then I'll get rid of all 3, of course. Next is another one that might anger somebody. The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. I have this because so many people rave about this, but I've just never really been interested in picking it up, and so I don't know. Trouble by Non Pratt. This is one that I read and I did really enjoy, but 1, it's YA, and 2, it's about teenage pregnancy and kind of like glorifying that a little bit, so I don't really think I'm going to reread this, and I'm going to pass it on, I think. Closer to Nowhere by Ellen Hopkins. This one I've had on my shelves for a really long time, and I felt like I would relate to it kind of well because it's something to do with like a foster child, but I don't know that I'm ever going to read it. It's told in verse. It would probably be quick, so like I might get rid of it, I might not. Meet Me in Outer Space by Melinda Grace. I can't recall why I might want to read this, but I also can't recall why I might not want to read this. So it's on the maybe pile, but it's one I'll probably end up getting rid of, I think. Then I have a couple books by Jen Bennett. I have The Anatomical Shape of a Heart and Always Jane. I do have 3 more books on my shelves still that I have read. I have not read these 2, and I really loved the ones that I have read. So I'm like, I don't know that I really want to read these, but like I'll probably love them if I do. That's why they're on the maybe pile. But I almost considered putting the other ones in the maybe pile too. So like if I get rid of these, I might get rid of those. I don't really know what to do. Lastly, I have Let's Get Lost by Adi Alsaid. This is one that has been on my bookshelf forever, and I heard someone really love it, but like it's even kind of yellowed. It's been on my shelf so long. I'm just not sure that I'll ever get to it anytime soon, but I kind of want to read it. That's why it's on the maybe pile. That is all. Let me count them up really quick and see how many books I have. Alright, so there are 41 books altogether. So some of those in the maybe pile might not end up getting rid of, but that's a pretty big dent in my shelves, and I'm pretty happy about that. I still have a lot of books that I need to read on my shelves. Stay tuned for after I go to the store. I am going to be taking these to Second and Charles. They're having a penny a page sale, so I'm really excited to go and pick out just a few more because I'm not buying a whole bunch, but can't pass up penny a page. Stay tuned and I will show you what I get. So I am back. It's been a couple days and things are kind of a mess, so the angle is a little wonky. I have a bag of books here that I got from the bookstore that I wanted to show. For all the books that I turned in, I got $36, I think, of credit at Second and Charles. And then because they were having a penny a page sale, I ended up with 7 books, and I actually still have some credit left. Let's just go through these. The first one I picked up, and I'm super excited for 2 different reasons, is Repeat After Me by Jessica Warman. One, it caught my attention because of the colors, and it has these gorgeous sprayed edges, but it also has the tentacles of an octopus on it, and that drew me in ever since I read Remarkably Bright Creatures. I love octopi. This is actually about someone who eats octopus, and it's some kind of special octopus, and so like they have like a Groundhog Day effect from it. I didn't read any more than that. That was enough, and so yeah, looking forward to this one. Next, I picked up The Miraculous Journey of Edward Trelane by Kate DiCamillo. I got this one on recommendation from a good friend who loves this author, and my daughter also seems to really love her books, and so I went ahead and grabbed that one because it was like $2, and so really good price without the sale. Another one I picked up is Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan. I have already read this one, but I really loved it and I still think about it sometimes, so I went ahead and grabbed that one to put onto my shelves. The next one is an author that I've been hearing a lot of people talk about recently and really love, and this one is The Lost Ticket by Freya Sampson. I've never really specifically been drawn to any of these books or covers, but I've been hearing some really good things about them. So for penny a page, I figured that was a pretty good deal to go ahead and try one of those. Next, I have just kind of one that I picked up on a whim. It's In an Instant by Suzanne Redfern. I know this one is kind of an older title, but this is about different possible timelines based on certain decisions, and there's a car accident. Buzzwords for me, so I went ahead and got that, and I think I'm really gonna like this. And then I got The River We Remember by William Kent Kruger. I'm pretty sure I've heard about this one recently, but it just sounds really good. I believe this is like a literary fiction, possibly, and I'm just kind of really drawn to those type of stories. Lastly, I picked up Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I have been hearing like a couple times now this year that this book is just really, really good. And so I saw this edition of it and it was on penny a page. And so I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and get that. Those are all the books that I picked up at Second and Charles that day, but then I also went to Barnes & Noble again today because reasons, and they were having a half price hardcover sale, so I did get a couple of hardcovers. I had gift cards and a $5 reward, so yeah, let me show you those. I went ahead and picked up the next 2 books in the Before the Coffee Gets Cold series. So I have Before Your Memory Fades and Before We Say Goodbye, and these are both the Barnes & Noble exclusive editions. So they have some like shimmery metallic or just shiny parts. I don't know if you can really see that. I own the first 2 books of this series. These are the 4th and the 5th, and I believe there's one more coming out. So I really like these. These are just cozy short stories, but they kind of follow an overall arching narrative, and these are going to be great for the winter time, and I really enjoyed the first 2. Those are all the books that I have to show you today, and let me know if you've read any of these or enjoyed them, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye!